Hello, my loves. So today I am doing a review of the Four Selves Oracle. This is Pathways to Integrating Shadow and Light. And this is artwork by Carrie Paris, and it is a Toni Savory, I hope I said that right, deck. This was sent to me by Wiser Books, Red Wheel. Let me just talk about like the release information. This deck represents a system to marry the four selves: the physical self, the conscious self, the subconscious self, and the superconscious self, which exists within us all. So bringing them into balance and communion so that we can each be a whole, healed being. Throughout our day-to-day lives, we experience a wide range of thoughts and emotions, many of which are essentially chatter. Stress over deadlines at work, worrying about exams, or a loved one's health, and money issues are all triggers that prevent us from truly living in the moment. They bring sleepless nights and a constant wondering about what tomorrow will bring when the day has not even occurred yet. Connecting to our highest selves gives us perspective. We are able to gain ideas and insight, otherwise known as divine inspiration. This connection is only possible when we are clear in our minds and our emotions and open to the potential of all without the fear of any. The superconscious self, which is higher self / connection to the divine, can only speak to us through our emotional and conscious selves. If these are blocked or triggered in any way, clear messages cannot be attained. Boy, do I believe that. Yes. Within our emotional and subconscious selves resides our shadow self. We must work through the blocks in ourselves, in our self levels to achieve wholeness. Sorry, I just had a little sneezing attack. Within our emotional and subconscious selves resides our shadow self. We must work through the blocks in all our self levels to achieve wholeness and the clarity that divine connection brings. The Four Selves Oracle invites you to look deeper into the aspects of yourself that are affecting your ability to work at a superconscious divine level. It will clearly show what triggers that you will need to work on for you to become your best self for the highest good. Card spreads present a clear system for reading the cards in such a way as to clearly see shadow aspects, light aspects, and pathways to find balance. 36 cards separate into 16 shadow cards, 16 light cards, and 4 neutral cards. With beautiful illustrations by Carrie Paris, the deck is designed to allow you to see where you are not only on a conscious level, but also on a subconscious level. Each card, such as Vortex, Moon, Mirror, Blitz, Garden, Portal, Self, Infinity, Shadow Self, and Door, have a description that contains its meaning and how it works both positively and negatively in the subconscious and the conscious. The artwork will take you on a journey into yourself, one that is enriching and empowering. You will be able to see clearly where your emotions are taking over, where your own mind is playing tricks and preventing you from moving forward and growing. About the author, Toni Savory is at the Card Geek, is the founder of the World Divination Association. She is the author of Siren Song Oracle. Oh, okay. All right. I know which one that is. I don't have it, but I know which one it is. Although I have looked at it a few times. Winner of Best Deck Release, World Divination Association. She has studied and researched the traditional systems of Lenormand, Kipper, and Gypsy cards in England, France, and Germany. She is also the author of The Card Geek's Guide to Kipper Cards. Visit Toni at cardgeek.co.uk. Toni grew up in Sheffield and now lives in Northern Ireland. And then it also talks about Carrie Paris. Carrie Paris, you guys will know her from like The Beloved Dead, The Relative Tarot. Also the Siren songs, Lenormand. She's also a co-author of the Ofrenda Oracle and the Lenormand Revolution deck. She offers classes and divination services to clients in the U.S., Asia, and Europe. And her passion for divination and ancient ceremonial rites that invoke the spirit of divining communities. Yeah. Oh, she has a master's degree in cultural study of cosmology and divination from the University of Kent, also in the UK. Excellent. This, I have gone through this. I already put it back in order. But this deck is super cool. So this is the front. This is the back. The cards are really cool. As it says, it is 36 cards. I do wish that Oracle decks had more cards than 36. But maybe, like the Lenormand, you know, that's what it's supposed to be, is just 36. So, the Four Selves Oracle. I'm going to get into the guidebook first. Quick guide to the card types, acknowledgements, welcome seeker, meeting the four selves. Yeah, let's do meeting the four selves, shall we? Okay, so about the four selves. The Four Selves system grew out of my lifelong study of meditation, mantras, and spiritual practice. Over the past 30 years, I began noticing that every meaningful breakthrough, whether emotional, intuitive, or physical, traced back to the same inner patterns. Four distinct parts of myself trying to communicate, sometimes harmoniously and sometimes at odds. What eventually became the Four Selves Oracle started from this system as my attempt to understand this interplay. I wanted a way to recognize when I was responding from emotion rather than clarity, when a thought pattern was clouding my truth, or when I was genuinely connected to my higher subconscious self. With that, I found that when these inner aspects aligned, life felt smoother, clearer, and far less reactive. When they didn't, everything from stress to self-doubt amplified. This deck is built to help you to notice those same patterns in your own life. It will show where your reactions come from, which part of you is speaking the loudest, and what needs attention so that you can move towards harmony, insight, and eventually self-actualization. You will learn how your emotions and thoughts intertwine to shape your reality, how to recognize and work through emotional triggers, and how to access the wisdom of your superconscious self, your divine connection. How to bring your four selves into harmony for a more fulfilling life. The Four Selves Oracle is unique in that it maps all four selves and shows how they work together through light, shadow, and neutral cards. It gives you a practical, intuitive way to understand your inner world so that you can step towards your highest expression. One that's grounded, clear, and connected to the divine within and around you. Okay, this is so cool. So superconscious self is divine connection, higher perspective. The subconscious self is emotional, memory, and instinctive reactions. Conscious self is thoughts, logic, mental patterns. Physical self is body, health, and material presence. Once you have found your self card, draw one more card. The second card reflects what your self wishes you to explore at this moment. Okay. All right. So they're like, it's like a simple, it tells you to draw the 13 card. I'll go through the deck and find cards 13 and 15. These are important significator cards for light and shadow. Place these cards before you and contemplate that you have a light side. You know what? Before we do that, let's go through the actual cards themselves, and then we will try something like that, okay? So let me get closer. Okay, first we have the rainbow here. The card type is light. Keywords are separation into states and compartmentalizing. And then it has core meanings in here, which I will, go through a couple of these so you can see them. 2 is stars. It's also a light card. And keywords are lessening problems, breakdown of issues into smaller entities. My goodness. I think I need more lotion on my hands. Then we've got 3, which is rays. Also a light card type. Keywords emit, shine, and radiate. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? So the next one we have is channel. This is also a light type card. Keywords are channel, allowing energies to flow through us. Bridge. Neutral card, connecting, bridging, and crossing. The next one we have is vortex. This is a shadow card. Keywords are confusion and downward spiral. And we've got a dark moon. This is a shadow card, and it says shadow work for the keywords and the unknown. Wow, these are beautiful. The next one we have is mirror card. This is a shadow card. This is keywords of reflection and truth. Our next one is blitz. This is also a shadow card. Sudden negative triggers, a shock to the system. Garden is a light card, and the keywords are openness and acceptance. Pair is also a light type card, and keywords are health and abundance. Portal is a light card, and the keywords are the unknown and the other side. So here's one of the cards that was talked about. I'm going to leave that aside. So this is one of the significator cards, and it's self. This is the quorant awareness of self. Let's put it aside. The next one is infinity. This is a neutral card, and the keywords are constancy, commitment, and dedication. Here's the other card that it said to pull out, which is the shadow self card, also a significator card. Keywords, the quorant shadow self, the hidden side of self. All right, so we're setting these aside. All right, the next one is door, shadow card, control, and switch are the keywords. The next card we have here is illness. This is a shadow card. Keywords, spiritual illness and malady. Ooh, look at that void card. Shadow card, emptiness and void. Magic card. It's a light card, and this is magic, energetic work, and sparkle. Next one is waterfall. It's a light card. Keywords are flow, fluidity, and release. Next we have the ladder, which is a light card. Keywords are climbing, raising, and lifting. We have identity. This is also a light card. And the keywords are how we identify ourselves, what we identify with. That's a cool looking card too. I do love the artwork in this. And I have pulled out some decks that I think that it'll pair with beautifully. So we've got a harmony card. Harmony, equilibrium, and balance. That's a neutral card. I can't remember if I said it. We've got hoax. This is a shadow card. How we misrepresent ourselves. False perceptions of self. Ooh, how interesting. Chaos. Shadow card. Chaos, disorder, and turmoil are the keywords. We've got vines. That's also a shadow card. We've got trapped, thwarted, held back, and entanglement. curse. This is a shadow card. External energies and negativity. We've got box. This is a light card, and the keywords are be in all states at one time. Return. This is a light card. Keywords, returning energies that are not our own. The next one is air. It's a light card, and airy, light, and ethereal, or ethereal. Now we've got roots. This is a light card. Depth, heritage, ancestry, and learned behavior. Oh, that's really cool. Next one we have is handshake. Interesting. And it's neutral. And the keywords are connection and agreement. Web is the next one. It's a shadow card. And hindrances, the web of existence. And it's a trap. Ooh. And we've got 34 with earth, also a shadow card, grounding, and earth energies. Next we have regression. That's a shadow card, and it's past lives, trauma, and childhood. And then our last one is decay. And that is shadow card and decay, breakdown, and withering. Interesting. All right. So I'm going to just do a shadow. I'm going to do one for each one of these so that we see how it works. I kind of already did this, but I did like 3 cards for each. But let's see. And I will say that in the book, it does have more about the different selves, right? The 4 selves. So we've got the superconscious self. It has a whole write-up about it. The subconscious self, the conscious self, and the physical self. Okay? And then the 4 selves in balance. So there's a lot more that I'm not going to read on in here, just because it's a lot of information and I don't want this to be super long. But I think that this could actually be very good. The reason why I wanted it sent to me was because it is working with like shadow work and our higher self and our shadow self and all that good stuff. So I thought that was excellent, and I'm all about that. So the self and shadow self. As you observe the 2 sides of your nature, all right, what's it say here? There are 2 significator cards within the Four Selves Oracle. They are designed so that you can understand the true balance within. These cards are the self and the shadow self. Your significator cards will be your focus when reading. The cards surrounding the self will explain your current status, where you are currently working on your triggers, and the shadow self will reveal the aspects of your status that you are not aware of or that you actively push down and hide. So whenever I've heard people say, you know, I don't know where to start with shadow work, this would be a great deck for actually helping with that, right? Because it's got a whole process designed strictly for uncovering that stuff. So it says for the self card, the self card represents you in your human incarnation, all that you know about yourself at this moment in time, and issues that are known to you. It is the equivalent of your sun sign in astrology, your core existence, or your core essence, and what defines your personality. Interesting. And then the shadow self card also represents you in your human incarnation, but all you do not know about yourself or that you keep hidden from others. This is your dark side, I think it was supposed to be can, but it says an, which you can embrace or equally as the light side. The the side that you only show to a few people, and often the side that you don't like to acknowledge. It is the equivalent of your moon sign in astrology. Oh, that's interesting. The deep and often hidden personality within. So I'm a Virgo moon, and I'm a Sagittarius / Capricorn, because I'm a cusper for my sun. So as you observe the two sides of your nature and the ways that your four selves communicate, you may start to see your reactions with new clarity. That recognition can open the door to more intentional choices and healthier responses. For example, when my eldest child was young, he often would suddenly drop to the floor in a tantrum, whether at the supermarket or in the living room. Sounds of screaming and arms and legs flailing could be heard a long way away. Okay, so let's see. As a new mom, I wasn't really equipped with all the tools I needed to show patience and calm. I also chastised myself for being unable to control the situation, especially when everyone was staring at us in a queue. As an empath, I learned quickly that the frustration building up in my son was also building up in me. Feelings of why me, embarrassment, and more would enter the scenario. While meditating and working my way back to superconscious living, I realized that the energetic poisoned arrow, disharmonious energy that were being emitted in the tantrum were being returned to me in my own frustration, which only escalated the stressful situation for us both. Exactly. Oh my gosh. If you're a mother, you know that exactly. That when you're frustrated, your kids are frustrated. They feel it, and vice versa. There's definitely a bond there. So the next time a tantrum began, I reminded myself that my frustration was not my own. Yeah. And it did not belong to me and was not mine to react to. I picked up my son in kindness, gave him a kiss on the forehead, and continued to do so until he, in turn, calmed himself down. This not only let my relationship with my son grow, but it also taught him how to deal with his frustration so that he was not projecting onto others. As you will see from this example, patience, love, and kindness all flourish when we are our best superconscious selves. Oh, see, I love that. Okay, so this is like a Lenormand reading. Okay. So this is like a bigger thing, okay? We're in our Lenormand study in the Patreon, on my Patreon, we only have like 4 more cards to go, and we've done all 36 cards, and then we're going to start doing like readings, practice. We've been doing readings all along with the cards, with each one that we do, each class, or each study. But this goes into like the big stuff soon, where they're all going to be just readings. All of them are going to be like sample readings, and it's so much fun. So I'm going to be getting into doing the big like grand tableau soon, but I'm not going to do that for this because that's way too much time consuming and learning the houses and all that. So I'm going to draw one card for the self card for our community right now, and one for our shadow self, things that we're not seeing. Okay, I'm going to just do that just so we can get a good idea of how some of these cards read. All right. So for the self, return. Oh, good God. And then shadow self for the community, the tarot community. And regression. Oh, boy. All right, so let's see what that means. So the first one is 29. So let me find 29. And this is our current, let me tell you what it says for the Oh no, I guess that doesn't matter. Okay, return. It's a light card. Returning energies that are not our own. I return all energies that are not my own. That's the mantra. The core meaning. So remember, this is the conscious side of our community right now. This is the subconscious side of our community. So, core meaning. This card will return any energies that are not your own to the original sender, and in doing so, also bring your energies back to your natural state. Anything that does not belong to us has no right to reside within us, neither mentally nor emotionally. Return brings an awareness of what is energetically ours and what is not. What is not ours is simply sent back to its origin without bias or malice. If return lands close to the curse card, you are being advised that people are projecting their situations onto you. Keep in mind, we're not doing the big spread like the tableau, the all 36, right? We're just showing how these read onto you, and it is time to recognize this and allow your energy to return to sender, right? So the imagery, talking about the imagery, the return card displays, and let me see if I can get closer. There we go. So the return card displays two hands separated by a symbol of two spirals interacting and connecting to each other. The hand at the top displays fine cracks, symbolizing the fragmentation that we can experience. Look. I'm not seeing that, I suppose. Fine cracks, symbolizing the fragmentation that can be projected onto us by others. The symbol connecting both hands with the universal highlights the elemental law about projecting energy onto others. It is simply returned to the sender without malice or ill will. It is not yours, should not be yours, and should not prevent or hinder you in any way from being in your own natural energetic state. Return simply brings you back to your center and removes anything that has been projected onto you, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. So for the conscious self, the return card highlights thought processes within the conscious self that are caused by external influence. Return will show where you may be taking on the thought processes of others and unknowingly carrying them as your own. The key is to realize what is happening and then let it go. The surrounding cards will provide additional information as to how this transpires for you and limits your spiritual self. Yes. I mean, I see that big time right now in our community. I see it really in our world right now, right? People are mirroring each other and yeah. Subconsciously, return will show the emotions and feelings that you are carrying that are not actually yours, but instead come from an external source. This could be really ingrained in ancestral patterns, as ancestral patterns may have put them there. For example, you might be feeling you cannot marry outside of your religion or race due to belief systems that you have been indoctrinated into. In the subconscious placement, the key to understanding is to question your emotions and find the origin. Are they yours or are they from an external source? Once this is understood, you can send back any emotions, energies that are not yours and do so in an empowering way without bringing karma back onto yourself. So the physical self. In a physical position, the return card can indicate that you are physically trying to remove unwanted energies from your environment. It shows the importance of cleansing your environment through incense, dowsing, prayer, or even just recycling. And then counterpart. Oh, the counterpart is regression. How interesting is that? This is its counterpart, and that's what we got. If we hold on to the energy of others or energies intrinsic to the land, even actual electrical towers, we can become depleted or consumed by stored patterns of the past. Return is an active card that takes control energetically and returns all to their rightful vibration. Regression, on the other hand, leads us down the path to previously stored behaviors and reactions. When regression falls close to return in a reading, we must take control of the situation and send unwanted energies to whence they came. Oh, how good is that? Wow. Now let's see what it says for the regression card, though. I'm going to read the whole thing. So it is a shadow card. It's past lives and trauma and childhood. The mantra is, I show myself love for any pain that I have felt. The core meaning. And see, to me, this already feels like so many topics continue to go around and to go around and to go around. We keep on repeating our patterns because we're in a regressive state, right? And that we just need to realize that when we are up against opposition, and there's so much of that going on, not just on Tarot 2, but in the spiritual community altogether and in our world altogether. We just need to return that energy in the most conscious and loving way, right? In order to keep our karma cleared of it. How interesting is this whole thing here? So the core meaning. Regression is a card of shadow and brings insight into all the past traumas that we've experienced through our lives since childhood. It can also bring insight into the traumas that we've brought with us from past lives. Our emotional self has become triggered into responses that are disproportionate to what is currently happening around us. The imagery. So regression card primarily features a small child. Surrounding the child are shackles and chains. Coding is streaming down all around, signifying those past life and ancestral imprints we all carry within us. Ethereal particles illuminate even the darkest areas, allowing all that keeps us tied up in a wounded state to be visibly engaged with and disempowered. We've been given the ability to work through those and break free from what negatively binds us. So conscious, this card will bring insight into the way that you could be repeating conscious triggers within your life at this time. Negative self-talk, which has links to the past, is relevant to this card in a conscious position. Examples of this include telling yourself that you cannot do something that you have the ability to do well because you fear failing. The surrounding cards will indicate the way that you could be held back by thought patterns that are not serving you well and will provide insight on how to work through these patterns. Now, in the subconscious part, which is what we have here, because this is the shadow, so this is the subconscious and this is the conscious, right? So when relating to the subconscious, this card will highlight the fears and feelings that come up from past life, childhood, or traumatic experiences. It can show the fight or flight modes that engulf you when you are not in any actual danger, all through the triggers of the past. The surrounding cards will indicate how you can become empowered by acknowledging or working through these triggers, as well as how these triggers show up for you on an emotional level. Oh my gosh. Talk about a message for the collective YouTube, Tarot Tube. Physical. So the regression card has a negative influence on your physical lives. It can create moments of depression and anxiety that are linked to past trauma. The widow who eternally grieves the childhood trauma that still affect our daily lives and so forth. When regression lands in the physical position, it is important to take stock of whether you are living in the past. And the counterpart is the return card. Yeah. So as we walk through our lives as autonomous beings, we can decide how we direct our attention. We need to understand what belongs to us and what is a construct placed upon us. When regression and return land close together, we must realize that the triggers that we are experiencing belong to our past. They do not have any attachment to the present. It is important to recognize that you are not who you were when the trauma began, and you no longer have to protect yourself or react in the same way. You may use the return card as your focus to send this energy, this form of energy, back to whence it came. Wow. That is really good. So I just want to go over really quick. There's, looks like some oracle spreads in here. I mean, this deck is really cool. I cannot wait to dig into it more. Privately, of course, because dealing with my shadow is nobody else's business, right? Let's see. Nor is your shadow my business. The daily mantras. Okay. The Four Selves check-in. Okay, so you can check out where your subconscious is. Or your superconscious, subconscious, conscious, and physical. Okay. And it gives examples of that. Then the psychological spread. That's a 6-card spread. And you've got yourself and your subconscious self or shadow down here. So one is acknowledge. 2, negative triggers. 3 is acknowledge negative triggers. Oh, and a bridging card. And how to reconcile. Oh, isn't that interesting? And then the path forward spread. Card 1, what you should focus your action upon. Card 2, a warning not to act upon this card. Card 3, a next step forward and a further step forward. Okay, so there it is. Oh, oh no, this is different. Do this for 1. Don't do this for 2. Progression. Oh, wait, it was the same one. And then the trigger release spread. Wow, 7 card. I'm just going to show you that quickly. Wow, this deck is awesome. And then the grand tableau. Yes, there it is. 1 second. I just wanted to show you guys really quick. So you know that I have a 4th wall, or some of you might know that I have a 4th wall, where I make stuff and sell like merchandise. And you'll see underneath my video, usually there's like little advertisement things, but this is some of the things. So this is mats that I make, that I sell over there, that I created. Not that one. That one's one I purchased. I have a lot of mats. But I made a Lenormand Grand Tableau one for 36 cards. Another one I made. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. I wanted to show that. I'm going to get some use out of that because we're getting ready to do the Grand Tableau in my class. So, come on. Sorry, let me pause. So yeah, so I'm going to be able to use that, which is really freaking cool. So, anyway, this is another one that I created and I sell over on 4th wall. These are quite large. I mean, you can see they're quite large. So, I'm just going to shuffle these a second, and then I'm going to do some pairings for you. So you can see just roughly, if you want to use it with tarot, some of the cards that I would use it with. So one of the ones that I was thinking of is the Crystal Keys Tarot. This was a gift for Mother's Day from my daughter. And I thought that this would maybe look good with this deck. So we got the Lovers and Ace of Wands with the Bridge. The Hierophant, Waterfall, and 9 of Swords. I'm not sure. I thought that this would go better than what it actually is. We'll see. Queen of Swords and 10 of Swords with Infinity. 8 of Wands, 6 of Wands, Identity. 9 of Wands. Excuse me. 9 of Cups. No, I have not been drinking. And Harmony. Other than coffee, right? Stars, Knight of Wands, and King of Swords. Let me show you what else I got. So another one I thought of is the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot by Radley Valentine. And my deck is warped. That's what happens here in Michigan. But we've got 10 of Water and 2 of Water with family, love, blessings, partnership, commitment, reconciliation with 3 of Rays. We've got 8 of Earth and the Chariot, education, focus, details, willpower, victory, recognition with Vines. Now, see, I think these look really good together. So, Ace of Air, inspiration, communication, adjustments. Okay, Ego, this is the Devil card, illusion, dependency, materialism, and ladder. And we've got... Oh, 4 of Earth, King of Earth, prosperous, generous, successful, frugalness, extravagance, control, and illness. This could definitely be some interesting readings, but I do think that the artwork looks very good together. Let's see what else we've got. So another one I thought of is my little pocket version or mini size of the Chibi Tarot. And we've got 2 of Coins and Queen of Coins with the door or door. We've got 3 of Coins and King of Coins with Decay. We've got Hoax with 4 of Coins and the Star. This is a hard-hitting deck. This can be a hard-hitting deck. That's why I think having something like the Chibi Tarot can actually help maybe soften the blow a little bit if you're doing like some deep shadow work with it, right? So 5 of Coins and the Moon with Chaos. Oh, yeah. We've got 6 of Coins and the Sun with Earth. Let's see what else we got. So another one I thought of is the Fountain Tarot. I love this deck. So we've got the Empress and 4 of Wands with Air. We've got Roots with Wheel of Fortune and Death. Ooh. Handshake with 9 of Cups and Queen of Wands. Oh. Sorry about the sound effects. I get lost in it. Knight of Cups and 6 of Swords with the rainbow. Follow the rainbow. All right. 4 of Coins, 5 of Wands with Garden. One last one. 3 of Coins, 2 of Swords with Pair. Let's see what else we got. So another one I thought of is, of course, the Light Seers, the Mass Market edition, the Hanged Man and Judgment with Portal. How interesting. The Fool box, 5 of Wands. I do like these together. Magic, 10 of Wands and Page of Pentacles. Vortex, ooh, with 9 of Swords and Ace of Pentacles. Dark Moon with Ace of Cups and 6 of Pentacles. Mirror with Death and Rebirth and Ace of Swords. Interesting. I've got one last deck to show it with. Okay, and the last one I want to try to pair it with is the Dream Vision Tarot. This is the 2nd edition by Emma Zhang. We've got the World, Ace of Swords, and Void. The Self, yeah, with what is that, Knight of Wands and 10 of Wands. Blitz with, what is that, the Hanged Man. Oh yeah, I have all these upside down. At least I think so. With the Hanged Man and 3 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles and the Hermit. Channel. Yeah, I think that these look good. Yeah. Nine of Swords. Man, this deck is so freaking cool. Seven of Pentacles and Regression. Oh my goodness gracious, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ah, the Fool. Oh, the Shadow Self and the Fool. And King of Wands. All right, so my goodness, guys. So the Four Selves Oracle. I am so looking forward to working with this. This is such a very cool deck. And like I said, for those people that have said many times, I've heard about shadow work, I'm not quite sure how to approach it or where to begin. This is a great deck for where to begin. And it shows you, like, who's driving your bus, more or less. You know, my sister just did a video. Granted, I'm not sure when you're going to see this, but my sister did a video over on her channel about talking about, you know, like, who's driving your bus right now. And I think this is so cool because it touches on your superconscious, your subconscious, your conscious, and your physical. And there's light and dark, and there's lots of spreads, and you can use this like in Lenormand. So the different houses, which I have to do further research in. It might be the actual grand tableau housing and everything. And then where everything gets put, you know. The cards that you see around it, that can be interesting all in itself. But definitely not for a short video because that's more intensive. That's going to take a long time to go through it. And you need a lot of space, especially for 36 cards all laid out. You need to like put it on a big table or on the floor. So thank you for spending this time with me. What are your thoughts? I believe that this is available for immediate release. Yes, for immediate release from Red Wheel Wiser, if I can say that right. Oh, it releases on June 1st. Okay, from Wiser Books. And I will put a link down below to where you can get this. It might be on pre-order now. But thank you for spending your time with me. Let me know what you thought down in the description. Or I mean down in the comment section. And is this something that you could see incorporating into your own, you know, tarot practice? So I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Love you.